Alex, second place. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you very much.
What deck do you play?
We are playing Goblins today. This is the first time I actually played this deck in real life. I've been testing it for a little bit, and it's definitely one of the coolest decks in this format. I've had a blast using it, and I just really wanted to have a good time with the guys today. So I brought it, and I did it surprisingly well. I was really happy with it.
You top basically second place in OTS championship. And what was your score?
I had 4 wins until the very end that I lost to Bricking. But I had a very good time. The matches were very interesting. The guys I was playing with are some of the coolest people ever. Have a great time with everybody. So to me, it's always a win.
You have the most iconic ATCG League Series playmat.
The original ATCG League Series playmat with a lot of nostalgia and emotional value. To me, this is from my very first top at an event, and obviously if you want your epic ATCG series playmat, please visit the website that we don't have. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Should we start with your deck
Of
or
course.
no?
Let's go. Alright, so starting off we have 3 copies of Goblin BIKER Gone Wild. This is the new card from new set. This card is busted. So first of all, on any part of its summon, it just summons a guy from deck, and it allows Gabonga to be an absolute house. So you have to play, in my opinion, you have to play 3. You always go through 2, or most of the time you go through 2 during your main combo, because you give 1 to Gabonga during the end phase, and you do want 1 in order to be able to search and summon and have a really big guy that can get you a lot of guys really quick from the deck. So this card is great at 3. I see builds that play 2. 2 is like okay, 1 is not good, but 3 to me is just an absolute must. After that, we have 3 copies of Dog. This card is nuts. It allows you to search any of your spell traps, and the nice thing is that you can normal summon your Gone Wild if you do not open any other monsters. Special summon Dog, then Dog allows you to get your continuous spell, and the continuous spell makes them both 3s, and you just start playing goblins like that. So you have to play 3 of that. After that, I played 2 copies of Clatter Splotter. I believe that Clatter Splotter is very good, especially in the grind, because you can just get this card during turn 3 or turn 4, and it's just an absolute house. And sometimes you might actually get your first Clatter Splotter banished through many means, so you do want to play 2 just for the ability to recover during your during future turns. After that, we have the 1 copy of Mean Merciless. You do not need to play more than that. 1 is perfectly fine. You get her out with Tour Guide. This is just very classic. And 1 copy of Hungelmark, and I've had a lot of respect for this card because one thing that people need to notice is that this card is a wind, and I do play Totem Bird in this list, so definitely you have to play this card. Absolutely crazy. After that, we have our starters in 3 copies of Tour Guide from the Underworld. You special summon your Mean Merciless through this card, and then it's pretty much, if this card goes through, you pretty much either win the game or build a full board. This card is really, really nice. And we have 3 copies of Terror Top, as well as 1 copy of Taketomborg. These cards allow you to both get free negates up, whether it is Totem Bird if you're afraid of Imperm, or if you are building a board, or if you want to just get your Bamboozling up. So these cards are absolutely great. You have to play 3 in any rank 3 deck. This is just absolutely insane. And one nice thing is that Taketomborg can be special summoned if you control any wind, so if you have a muck, you can just summon this card from your hand without having to access Terror Top. After that, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Spring. It's a level 3 very good hand trap, there's nothing to say about this. And 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is one of the best cards in this format. You have to play 3. Sometimes you can even normal summon if you have this card. There are times that I was like, should I normal summon this to spell summon to get them from my hand? There's small interactions during the game that just make the game more interesting. And I don't really have to explain about Droll. Droll is crazy. Then we have 1 copy of Ghost Ogre. This is mostly for E-Tele plays, because this is a psychic and you can summon it, and she can use the effect on field. But the most important thing is that she's a psychic tuner. That's pretty much it. After that, we have 1 copy of Yang Yan. Yang Yan is very good. She comes back every turn, pretty much with every summon of level 3 monster. But also very important that, again, she's a wind. After that, for the final monster, we have one copy of Psychic Wielder. It was either Wielder or Tracker, but a last-minute choice made me choose Wielder for a reason that you will see in the extra deck very soon.
Because it's tuner, right? Because it's tuner, I said.
It's a tuner, yes, because it's a tuner. The other guy has better stats, but the tuner aspect changes things. For the spells, we have 3 copies of Goblin Biker Grand Entrance. Pretty much search spell, very, very strong. The new spell, Grand Breakout, is nuts. It allows you to avoid Imperm, Effect Veiler, any targeting card. It allows you to get monsters in the graveyard that you can then summon back. For example, if your Gabonga gets negated, you can use this to get a Clatter Splotter from the deck, and then Clatter Splotter can recover the Gabonga, and the Gabonga is again live. And this card is so good, and has really increased the ceiling of this deck. After that, for the final spell, for the final Goblin spell, we have 1 copy of Grand Bash. This is a card that I find myself searching a lot. I do not play any of the trap cards in the main deck. I believe Grand Bash is just really good. It allows you to both use your Gunwild as a starter, as well as go for a variety of Xyz monsters that can really impact the game in many ways. And for the final spell, we have 3 copies of Emergency Teleport. It gets you Nyan Nyan, it gets you your Wielder, it gets you Ogre. It's just a very good card and a very sweet extender. For the trap cards, we have 1 copy of Full Armored Xyz. This is for the Xyz part of the deck. Either you search this during your combo, very sweet card. And finally, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence for the final traps.
Okay, let's go to the extra deck.
Moving on to the extra deck, we have 2 copies of Gabonga. This card is pretty much the bread and butter of the deck. You summon this card and then everything just goes smoothly. This card is super sweet.
Incredible artwork.
Incredible artwork. Yeah, I need to get QC of this. Christos, get your joke too. After that, we have 1 copy of Totem Bird. I spoke about this card a little bit, but this is a very important card. The deck doesn't struggle with monsters, but spell traps and especially removal are a nightmare for this deck. So I do prioritize making Totem Bird, especially if I am in games 2 and 3 and I'm going second, or if I'm going first and I'm afraid of cards like Regeki or Lightning Storm or anything. I just make this card. It's very strong. After that, we have 1 copy of Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. In my opinion, this is better than the other option, which is Cicada King, because this can negate Nibiru as well as it being a wind. The small interactions really benefit you. So this card is very strong, and I really like making this during the combo. After that, we have the Xyz package in the forms of 1 copy of Torpedo. This guy draws you a card.
You know that everything is Xyz.
I know, but then this guy, another Xyz, Fortress, just such as...
Do you play anything else than Xyz?
Yes, and you will find out very soon. And finally, 1 copy of Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer. This card is another snatch. It allows you to both get a big guy on the field.
You might play some synchros as well, but
I play 1 card. You'll see very soon. After that, we have 1 copy of Break Sword.
1 more synchro. Yeah.
Break another card. We have 1 copy of Lars. This is my Grand Bash target. I really like this card. It was either play this or Photon Strike Bouncer, or even commit with Grand Bash in order to make a Hyperitron, but at the very least...
Or Beatrice, but she's banned.
Thank God. And yeah, Lars, the best choice in the deck has at the moment, in my opinion. 1 Typhon, because, you know, sometimes you can always get full combos. Sometimes you just have to get a guy that beats hard. And for the final Xyz, we have 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Obviously, it's an Xyz deck. After that, we have this Synchro, which is Shen Shen. I found during my testing that I would have a Gone Wild that just doesn't go anywhere. It just sits in the field. It doesn't help me in any way. And sometimes I will be able to get a tuner. And Shen Shen is a powerful floodgate. It allows you to banish cards. It's very good if you're using it against Runic, for example, and Synchro decks and combo decks. This card is very strong, and I believe it's kind of underrated. So in Goblins, I believe it's a very nice addition. After that, we have the Link monsters. We have 1 copy of IP Masquerena, and IP Masquerena allows you to get into your SP Little Knight. The best part about this engine is that you can use IP to send your Gone Wild on the field, and Gone Wild will trigger and snatch another monster for your opponent. So these 2 are, in my opinion, an absolute must. And finally, we have one copy of Silhouette Rabbit. This is just for going first. I believe that it's better to just put the trap card in the side deck and keep this in your extra deck in case you know you're going first, and you can side in your card of choice. Moving on to the side deck, we start off with the monsters with one copy of Bestial Magnamut, and Magnamut searches out the other guides, which is 3 copies of Bestial Boldrake. These were supposed to be like 1 Boldrake and 2 copies of Druisworm. I didn't have Druisworm, so I just decided to play Boldrake because Boldrake is also very good. The best thing about the Bestials is that they're level 6 and they can combine really nicely with your other monsters. For example, if you have face-up full armor Xyz, you have a Gonwald on the field, you can use Boldrake, keep it in hand, use your Bestial, summon the Bestial, and then full armor Xyz into a large to your opponent's turn if you're afraid of removal. So Bestials, in my opinion, are very, very sweet in this deck. After that, we have 2 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. Love-hate relationship with this card. You either draw it and you win the game, or you draw it and you draw it going as your 6th card. But very, very strong, and it's a card that not many people expect in this format, so I just really wanted to try playing Nibiru and catch some of my opponents off guard. And for the final monster, I play 1 copy of Goblin Crazy Beast. I decided this with one-sided copy of Grand Pileup because again, my biggest fear when it comes to this deck is mass removal, cards like Evenly Matched, cards like Regeki, etc. So the idea is that you can use this going first as a side option to go into Crazy Beast. Crazy Beast has protection, he snatches spell traps, he's a very sweet monster, but honestly I didn't use this at all today. I do not believe Crazy Beast is actually that crazy in this deck, so this is just something that was an idea that didn't come up. After that, I have 2 copies of Talents, just in case I want to draw in for some cards from the side deck, or just to get a little bit of extension. After that, I have 1 copy of Heart-Feather Duster, clean up boards. And for the trap cards, I play 3 copies of Evenly Matched, one of the best board breakers in the game. This card is, in my opinion, never gonna go bad. This card is nuts. And finally, 1 copy of Azaroon to set up with my Silhouette Rabbit.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Do you have any last words about the tournament?
I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the locals, especially the 2 polls that we have in the tournament, and Pan for helping me out both with the list as well as getting me some of the cards that I needed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our beloved OTS store for everything that they do for us. And honestly, I just really love this. I really like this format. I really like the game. I really like the way things are at the moment.
You like the one Pydra OTK?
Yeah, okay. We don't speak of that. We don't speak of that. We do not speak. That didn't happen. That never happened. And hopefully it doesn't happen, because some of the guys were saying about the next time everybody is coming with Tempai. So yeah. I might start building a little bit against Tempai. But we'll see. Thank you everyone for the video.
Thank you very much, Alex. Hope to see you in the next tournament.
Have a good day.